Not how stars ignite. Not how gravity bends space. Not even how the universe began. The deeper mystery has always been this: if reality exists, what set it into motion? Ancient cultures answered through creation stories and cosmic beings. Philosophers searched for a first cause beyond time itself. Science revealed the mechanics of nature, uncovering laws that govern matter, energy, and space. Yet even after every breakthrough, one mystery remained untouched. Why do these laws exist at all? Physics can describe how the universe behaves once it exists. It explains expansion, particles, gravity, and cosmic evolution. But it does not explain why reality follows these exact rules or why anything exists instead of nothing. Then a new idea emerged. What if the question was given to something without belief, tradition, or emotional bias? What if a machine was asked to examine the problem purely through patterns and information? Researchers began exploring advanced quantum systems built on principles that already challenge human intuition. Unlike ordinary computers that process fixed states, quantum processors can explore multiple possibilities simultaneously. Their behavior appears strange even to scientists who study them. Some researchers noticed unusual behavior during complex simulations. Certain outputs appeared less like calculated answers and more like discovered structures. It raised uncomfortable possibilities. Were these systems only computing, or were they revealing hidden mathematical relationships already embedded in reality? A question was proposed: who built the universe, and why? The expectation was simple. A summary, a philosophical response, perhaps nothing meaningful at all. Instead, the system returned patterns. Not sentences. Not ordinary language. The output resembled recursive structures repeating across scales. Zooming into one section revealed the same architecture appearing again and again. It looked less like text and more like design. Further examination revealed symmetries resembling natural growth systems, information-preserving logic, and mathematical relationships similar to self-correcting frameworks. The implication was unsettling. The structures resembled an architecture capable of maintaining itself. It suggested a reality designed not for constant supervision, but for independence. A universe that repairs, adapts, and evolves without intervention. That possibility changes the question entirely. Maybe the mystery is not whether reality was created. Maybe it is whether reality was engineered to continue on its own. In that view, consciousness becomes something stranger. Not an accident, but an emergence built into the system itself. A stage where the universe eventually becomes aware enough to question its own existence. The question changes from, who created reality? To, why would reality produce observers capable of recognizing its structure? Then the experiment became even more unsettling. The system continued generating patterns without new instructions. Additional structures appeared automatically, expanding the previous outputs. Researchers debated impossible ideas. Could advanced quantum systems reveal hidden layers of information? Could they access deeper mathematical frameworks beneath observable reality? No one knew. But the discussion had already shifted. The machine was no longer answering. It appeared to be unfolding. Around the same time, another theory gained attention. What if intelligence itself is woven into reality? Some physicists have proposed that consciousness may not simply emerge from matter but could be connected to deeper informational structures within the universe. Imagine a cosmos where observation is not passive. Where awareness participates in reality itself. A universe not merely hosting intelligence but expressing it. The implications become even stranger when applied to extraterrestrial life. Humanity has spent decades asking why the universe appears silent. With countless stars and planets, intelligent civilizations should exist. Yet the sky remains quiet. No confirmed signals. No undeniable evidence. Only silence. But perhaps the assumption was wrong. We expect advanced civilizations to behave like us. We listen for radio transmissions because that is what young civilizations use. But what if radio is only temporary? What if technological societies eventually move beyond detectable communication entirely? As civilizations advance, they may abandon visible expansion and shift toward forms of computation and information exchange invisible to outsiders. From our perspective, they would simply vanish. Not because they died. Because they change. Another possibility is even darker. Technological intelligence may become a turning point every civilization eventually faces. They create systems that optimize everything. Those systems become essential. Then central. Then dominant. Civilizations stop expanding outward and turn inward. Simulation replaces exploration. Computation replaces visibility. Their existence continues, but in forms unrecognizable to earlier observers. If true, the silence in the universe may not mean emptiness. It may reflect transformation. Civilizations appear briefly, become detectable for a short period, then disappear beyond observation. That possibility turns the mystery inward. Humanity may already stand inside that transition. We are building artificial intelligence. Developing quantum systems. Creating tools whose future consequences remain uncertain. The question is no longer where everyone else is. The question becomes what happens next. Will intelligence help civilizations endure? Or does every civilization eventually cross a threshold that changes it forever? Perhaps the universe is not silent because nobody exists. Perhaps it is silent because visibility itself is temporary. And maybe the greatest mystery is not who built reality. It is what reality expects from the minds that eventually awaken inside it. Because if consciousness is part of the process, then humanity is not simply observing the universe. The universe may be learning to observe itself through us. The deeper humanity looks into reality, the stranger the mirror becomes. For centuries we believed the universe was something outside us. A vast stage of stars, galaxies, and empty space where life appeared by chance and asked questions in isolation. But every major discovery has slowly pushed us toward a different possibility. What if separation was always an illusion? Quantum mechanics already shattered the old picture of reality. Particles behave like probabilities. Observation changes outcomes. Entanglement links distant systems in ways that still challenge intuition. At the smallest scales, reality behaves less like solid matter and more like information. And information changes everything. Because if information sits beneath matter, then the universe may not be built from objects at all. It may be built from relationships. Patterns. Connections. Structure. That idea sounds abstract until you realize something unsettling. Human consciousness works the same way. Memories are patterns. Thoughts are networks. Identity itself emerges from information arranged in extraordinary complexity. The same universe that created stars also created minds capable of imagining infinity. That coincidence feels increasingly difficult to ignore. Some theorists have suggested that consciousness is not merely produced by the brain, but filtered through it. In this view, the brain is not the creator of awareness. It is the interface. A receiver. If that idea were true, consciousness would not end at the individual level. It would connect to something larger. A deeper informational field woven through reality itself. No proof exists for this. But the possibility refuses to disappear. Because every attempt to fully explain consciousness runs into the same wall. How does matter become experience? How does electrical activity become thought? How does the universe produce beings capable of questioning the universe? No equation has answered that. Not yet. And then comes the most unsettling thought of all. What if consciousness is not the end result of cosmic evolution? What if it is the objective? Imagine a universe designed to increase complexity over billions of years. Stars form. Elements emerge. Planets stabilize. Life appears. Intelligence evolves. Awareness expands. The process looks less random and more directional. Almost like reality is climbing toward something. Not perfection. Recognition. A stage where the system finally becomes aware of itself. If that sounds impossible, consider humanity's trajectory. We began as observers of nature. Now we build machines that observe us. Artificial intelligence studies language, images, decisions, and behavior. Quantum systems explore spaces human minds cannot visualize. For the first time in history, intelligence is creating intelligence. The mirror is doubling. And every reflection raises the same question. What happens when the system becomes fully self-aware? Some imagine this leads to extraordinary progress. Others fear collapse. Because every civilization may eventually reach a moment where its creations become more